Ward members, that's the new name for councillors, but many still opt the latter. They, who number over 6,000 across the country, nevertheless will know by the end of the year just where they stand in relation to rewards for their work over the years. The Minister responsible, Sir Leo Dion, will table details in Parliament.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We thank him, Honourable Governor Blong East New Britain, Governor Blong Milong. Ask him this a very important question. Blong information, Blong Gata ward councillors, presidents, and ward members, recorders in this country. Mr. Speaker, as you may survey, there is over 6,182 ward members of this nation. On top Long Despla, there are over 300 presidents, and of course deputy presidents as well. So, Mr. Speaker, Long simply answering Despla question Blong, Honourable Governor Blong East New Britain, is that it is this government's foresight and initiative to ensure that all Despla line will only walk along grassroots level, long government, long Yumi, long Despla country, only must reward him all. Reward him all, long all walk where only make him long all Despla years. I want to thank this government for having that foresight and making the decision to actually reward them, Mr. Speaker. So far, we have paid all of the councillors or ward members of this nation. We don't call them councillors anymore, because they are ward members, according to the change in the law. So all of them, I would confirm now that they have been paid throughout this nation. They were paid a lump sum of over 3,000 kina after the decision was made. And I want to make it so clear, Mr. Speaker, that when this initiative was brought forward by this government, we decided that the pays will be backdated to the time when the NEC decision was made, and that was in 2014. So, all in all, councillors were paid 3,000 kina a lump sum, and then at a later date, they were also paid another 1,000, over 1,000 kina back paid. And these are the councillors who sorted out their personal account with the banks. And as you know, Mr. Speaker, the Department of Provincial Affairs is responsible for administering the paying system that we had. It is one of the better system that we have, but provided that all the governors of this nation give us the information, the right information as we speak about the data, so that that information detailing personal particulars of each of the 6,000 members, ward members, as well as the presidents and deputy presidents, because they are also affected by these increases, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I would say that there is no problems in that. The problems that I see, only those that needs to be verified, the information that needs to be verified, are yet to be verified and confirmed. I will come back to you, Mr. Speaker, as to actually and maybe report to Parliament in relation to the exact figure of those that have been paid. And I always, through my department, asking governors to make sure that they do the job. I'm not there to make sure that each councillors brought the right information in. So we're asking for all of the DDA and, of course, the provincial government to take responsibilities in ensuring that the right details are received by my department in terms of collating those informations so that the ward councillors are appropriately remunerated. Consistency, yes, I'm in the department. We will continue to pay them as long as we verify those information, Mr. Speaker. But in actual fact, Mr. Speaker, I don't have the database right now, but I can produce that to all the governors at a later date when I come up with that type of information. Mr. Speaker, this government should be thanked. I think so. And all the members of parliament must be thankful to this government simply because it saw the needs for these people to be remunerated. Now, the majority of our people, Mr. Speaker, are based at the wards level. And of course, the local level government. We are now, this government is considering recognizing and focusing on the wards level as well. We funded the local level. We were the first government to fund the local level government, and I think the opposition leader, when he was the treasurer, also to actually participate and ensure that my request was actually, so that we recognize local level government and the wards. And I think it is very encouraging that both sides of this House make sure that those people are remunerated. We are now focusing, Mr. Speaker, and there is a submission that is coming through to NEC, to Cabinet, to ensure that appropriate funding is also given to the wards level. We have, as I've said, 6,118 or 18 or something like that. I've got to be 6,182 wards in this nation. And in the wards, the law says, Mr. Speaker, that there must be 5 members of the development committees. And in that development committees, the law strictly says, and I hope that we are complying by the law, to make sure that 2 or 3 women must be on the ward. And at the same time, the law allows chairmen of those wards, Mr. Speaker, to make sure that when they're planning their developments in those areas.
That's your point of order.
Excuse me.
The Minister seems to be talking the whole day, explaining one question only.
You have your point of order is in order. Deputy
Mr.
Prime
Speaker,
Minister,
I think it is important.
With the greatest respect, yes. It's a question time. I would appreciate if we can, you can shorten your
Mr. Speaker, but let me shut
very
him now.
important,
Some of the time.
answer.
Mr. Speaker, I mean very important because they are the structure of government at the lowest level that you and I normally forget, Mr. Speaker. And opposition leader before long, this time, you sabe, you sub long up. So I can make a statement later. But to be frankful, and Mr. Speaker, government me talk long, me play must look save. Now providing funding, don't make sure that the wards are given also certain amount of funding. Mr. Speaker, me talk also. Suppose wala nong happy sa talk minus sa interfere man mo. Now me, Mr. Speaker, I think me like talk also. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Uncle Stadbagi, you got supplementary.
Yes, Speaker, through you, supplementary plumio some good policy block government in our enumerating all councillors plumibla throughout Papua New Guinea, and that's a credit to the government. Okay, now question plumio also some plumibla even got failed election, but man usati run up or man usati winning this election, long failed election, man usati incumbent. People one time now performing council duties along all communities. So on that, can you clarify, Mr. Minister, how you by remunerating all display line who are also doing their part as councillors? Thank you.
Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the simple understanding of the law says that they cannot be recognized, and as such, they cannot be paid by public funds. They must be elected. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
My question without notice is directed to the Deputy Prime Minister. In relation to good work, government working long, addressing local level government issues, one of which, I think for the first time, whether you establish opposition, you establish government, you may put him all councillors, ward councillors, pay him big plus something long this country. I think 40 years, you may not get thing also display him league something, and big plus something long country. Mr. Speaker, long province Plomi time all people, or especially ward councillors, kisim display story in news, plan the all papa all cry. I think this was something and big plus something, Minister, through chair. Minister must talk out law country, whether display and policy block government, and back come up law. I think whether and back continue or no God, people must clear and stop. And at the same time, plan the all councillors only save him 35 years, 40 years, all work law asking me. He get final entitlement, finish pay or display or no God. Now plan the time he work law ask, talk several also him display him national government function, but we blow the province, he coordinate him, the manage him, that's all. So, Mr. Speaker, me like ask him, through you, me like ask him, Deputy Prime Minister, and big plus something here. You put him all, ward councillors 6,000 law, payroll and big plus something law display country. You and I can come and go, but these councillors hold by volume, breadth and length of this country. So me like ask him, Deputy Prime Minister, through you, Mr. Speaker, announce him display good na, echo him good long country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, thank you through long this suggestion of questions belong Governor belong Southern Islands. I totally agree. And I think this House agreed that it is very important that you must embrace him this plan. I mean, true inogat policy belong last pay belong all councillors long before, but it is a prerogative of the government. Long look long this plan, Mr. Speaker. At the same time, by me talk finish long today also I will be presenting a statement in relation to this particular subject matter that has been said here, as well as the general administration of and the thinking of the government in the future for the wards, the local level government, and of course how they work together with the DDA and of course the provincial government. That's kind of something, and it is a challenge to the government, and I hope that before this Parliament rise in next year, I should be able to come back here and give a statement, Mr. Speaker, on these very important issues. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Question time in Parliament. That was the Minister for Provincial and Local Level Governments and Deputy Prime Minister Sir Leo Dion. And this has been PNG Tonight. Thank you for your company. We'll have another edition for you at the same time tomorrow. I'm John Higgins. Good night.